Hey there, Heather. Ho, there's Jeff Cutter. I welcome you to the All Canada tournament again. I went through all 12 seasons I have of Stone Cold Hockey and the Canadian teams that made the playoffs and made a 32 team tournament out of it. As you can see, we're down to 16. Let's take a look at the teams by west to east. Vancouver had 4 teams 75, 79, 12, and 94. They all failed to get out of the first round. Calgary, by proxy, had 5 teams, 2 out of 5 make it. And guess what? They have to face each other. So we'll see one Calgary team in the quarterfinals. That's good. Edmonton went a dismal 2-3, with the 22 and 23 squads winning. The other 3 not so much, including the 84 squad that freaking won the Stanley Cup. Sorry, but I'm a little bitter. Vancouver should have had the 94 team in at least. Winnipeg, only one team, the 23 squad, but they won 1-0. He got one, and Vancouver got no team since 2016. Now you're thinking, shouldn't there have been more Winnipeg teams? Well, Winnipeg didn't have an NHL team until 1980. The 84 season, they didn't make the playoffs. The 91 season, they didn't make the playoffs. The 94 season, they didn't make the playoffs. And then, of course, they moved to Arizona. So, of course, and then 2012, when they came back, sure, but they didn't make the playoffs. And they didn't make the playoffs in 22 either. Very little choice. Ottawa, the Senators, only 2 teams, 06 and 12, making the playoffs 2-0. So Ottawa's 2 for 2. The Leafs had 7 teams in, 3 out of 7. That's not bad. It could have been worse. And Montreal, with their 7 teams, got 6 out of 7. Only the 84 squad didn't make it. So that was actually amazing. Montreal put 6 teams in the final 16, and there'll be a Battle of Montreal. So here we go. First matchup is 2012 Ottawa against 68 Montreal. And Ottawa wins 4-1. Craig Anderson beats Rogie Vachon. Ottawa goals by Kyle Turris, Daniel Alfredson, Milan Mahalik, and Eric Kylson. Montreal goal by Dick Duff. That wonderful Duff. Game 1 of 79 Montreal and 9 for Toronto. 79 halves with a shutout. Buddy Larocque with the shutout over Potvin. Tremblay, boo, hiss. Mondu and Yaval Lambert with the goals for Montreal. 23 Leafs against 35 Habs. And the Leafs went 4-2. Samsonov beats Larocque. Toronto goes by Tavares, Liljegren, Bunting, and Miner. Montreal goes by Murray Wilson and Jacques Lemaire. The Battle of Calgary, the 91 team with the shutout, 6-0. Walmsley with the shutout. Rick Walmsley, really? Wow. Robert Reichel, Al McGinnis, Kitchener. Pio Fleury, Paul Ranheim, Robert Reichel, and Joey Newnight with the goals. 71 Habs, 65 Habs. The 65 team wins 3-2 as Charlie Hodge beats Rogie Vachon. The 65 team, Beliveau, Andre Richard, and Backstrom. Peter Mahovlich, and Phil Roberto for Montreal. The 22 Leafs and 06 Senators. The Sens take it. Game 1 4-1 as Mrazek lost to Ray Emery. Toronto goals by Alex Kerfoot. Ottawa goal by Yves Boshenski. Remember him? Alfredson and Heatley. 22 Oilers taking on the 91 Habs. And the 22 Oilers won on the Prokashyan 3-2. Wild lost to Koskinen. Edmonton was up 2-0 on goals by Connor McDavid and Ryan McLeod. Montreal tied it with Tom Shorsky. Remember him? Shane Corson. But in overtime, it was Draisaitl's 8 from Darnell Nurse at 5:06. And 23 Jets against the 23 Oilers. Edmonton strikes first 5-1. Skinner beat Hellebuck. Edmonton scored the first 5 goals. Draisaitl, Hyman, Costin, Ryan, and Nugent Hopkins. The first 4 goal scorers were their third of the postseason. Kyle Connor for Winnipeg. Game 2, Montreal-Toronto. Let's start with that one. 79 Habs are now halfway there. 5-2. Dryden beats Putin. Toronto goes by Clark and Manderville. Montreal goes by Mario Tremblay. Boo. Jacques Lemaire, Guy Lafleur, Bob Gainey, and Mario Tremblay. Can't believe Mario Tremblay has more goals than Guy Lafleur. It's Bizarro World. 23 Leafs are now up 2-0. Samsonov beats Dryden. Montreal goes by Conway and Guy Lafleur. Bunting, Riley, Matthews, and Kerfoot for the 23 Leafs. The 06 Flames have tied that series up 4-0 with a shutout of their own. Kipper does it on Vernon. Regier, Simon, Aguila, and Tony Almonte. Forgot he played for the Flames. 71 Habs, 65 Habs. Game 2 saw the 71 Habs tie the series. Phil Meyer beats Charlie Hodge. 65 halves had a goal by Provo, Tartif, Frank Mahovlich, Leon Rushford, and Phil Roberto for the 71 team. The 22 Leafs split their first 2 games 2-1. Campbell beats Hasek, Jack Campbell, Nylander and Mikhailov for Toronto, Spezza for the 06 Senators. And Campbell beat Hasek. Wow. 22 Oilers are now halfway there, 6-3. Koskinen beats Waugh. Montreal goes by McPhee, and Peter Sabota. Edmonton goes by Puviari, Connor, McDavid, Fogle, Hyman, McLeod, and Draisaitl. The 23 Jets have tied their series in overtime. Hellebuck beats Campbell. Edmonton goes by Connor, McDavid, and Darnell Nurse. Kyle Connor and Morgan Barron in regulation. In overtime, Mike Shifley, the pride of Kitchener, but not a Kitchener Ranger, so I can't say you know what. Connor McDavid was in the box for slashing Shifley from Appleton. The 68 Habs have tied that series 5-2. Vachon beats Alt. Ottawa goes by Sexsmith and Eric Condra. Montreal goes by Claude Protovo, Yvonne Cornoyer, Jordan Cornoyer, Terry Harper, Jacques Lemaire. 23 Leafs. Game 3, they lose in overtime in Montreal. The Rock beats Matt Murray. Toronto goes by Tavares, Nylander, Matthews, and Marner. Montreal goes by Lambert, Lafleur, Tremblay, and Jimmy Roberts, scoring late to tie the game. And in overtime on the power play with Mark Giordano in the box for holding, Murray Wilson from Larry Robinson, and Yvonne Lambert. 22 Oilers lose in overtime, so they lose a chance to go up 3-0. Waugh beats Koskinen. Montreal goals by LeBeau, Richer, and McPhee in regulation. Barry with 1 goal. Draisaitl with 2 goals to make 11 for that team. But in overtime at 16-18, McPhee from Dano and Carbonneau. And the 79 Habs lose in overtime too, so we won't see any sweeps. Potvin beats Bunny LaRock. Montreal had goals by Shutt, LaRoche, Pierre LaRoche. LaRoche played for the 79 Habs. Oh yeah, that's right. Guy Lafleur and Steve Shutt. 94 Leaf goals by Manderfield, Gilmore, Clark, and Sylvain Lefebvre. Overtime, Clark, and overtime from Gilmore. Repeating myself. 68 Habs, now up 2-1. 4-3. Vachon beats Anderson. Montreal goals by Duff, Belleville, Lemaire, and Lavare. Ottawa goes by Alfredson, Carlson, and Jared Cowan. Remember him? 06 Flames now up 2-1 as Brian Boucher beats Mike Vernon. The 06 goals by Aguila, Lankow, and Kopasu. 91 Flames by Fleury and Tim Sweetie. 65 Habs up, win 4-2. Hodge beats Meyer. Fallon, Angie Talbot, Cornway, and John Ferguson scoring for the 65 team. 71 Cornway and Lemaire. Ottawa now up 2-1, 4-2. Hatchick beats Campbell. Toronto goes by Nylander and Nylander. Ottawa goes by Spezza, Heatley, Smolinski, and Eves. Game 3 sees the 23 Oilers win 4-1. Skinner beats Rittich. Winnipeg goes by Nick Ehlers. Edmonton goal by Evander Kane. Connor McDavid, Ryan McLeod, and then Kane scores again. The Battle of Calgary sees the 91 squad tie that series at 2. Vernon beats Kipper. 06 squad, Ferretz, Lombardi, Donovan, and Marcus Nielsen scoring. 91 team, Fleury, Reichel, Newendike, Paul Fenton. Remember him? Fred McClellan. But in overtime, Joe Otto at 12-16 from Gary Roberts. 31 Habs have made it 2-2 in their series. Vachon with a shutout over Hodge. JC Tremblay, Pete Mahovlich, Sean Belleville, Pete Mahovlich, and Sean Belleville. Game 4, the 22 Leafs forced to Game 6 with an overtime win. Mrazek beats Emery. 22 Leafs, Engvall, Spezza, and Nylander in regulation. 06 Senators, Boshenski, Schaefer, and Boshenski again. But in overtime on the power play with McGrattan in the box, Engvall, his second of the night from Matthews and Liljegren. 22 Oilers up 3-1 now with a 4-2 win. Smith beats Rasico, Red Light Rasico. Montreal goes by Shorsky and Schneider. Edmonton goes by Connor, McDavid, Barry, Hyman, and Draisaitl. The 23 Jets have forced a Game 6 with a 5-4 overtime win. Hellebuck beats Campbell. Winnipeg goes by Morgan Barron, Blake Wheeler, Namestnikov, and Stenland in regulation. Edmonton goes by Daryl Ryan, Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman. And McDavid with 2 goals. Pierre-Luc Dubois at 1658 from Lowry and Ehlers. The 68 Habs are now at 3-1 with that series and 3-1 overall. Vachon beats Old. Ottawa go by Alfredson, but Shields Trombley and Cornway with 2 goals. Beep beep. Make it 3-1. Game 4. The 94 Leafs have made it a game 6. Potvin beats Dryden. Montreal got a goal by Guy Lafleur. Toronto first goal by the immortal, of course I'm being sarcastic, Chris Govendaris, with Krushelewski scoring the second goal. And then the 75 Habs, they win game 4, 5-2. So that series is 2-2. So only 2 series are at 3-1. Dryden beats Samsonov. Toronto goes by Nylander. Mike Humph with the goal. Why did I just say that? Montreal goes by Peter Mahovlich, Yvon Lambert, Jacques Lambert, Yvon Lambert again, and then point 2. Anyway, game 5, 68 Habs. Do they win? No, they don't. They lose 5-4. Anderson beats Worsley. Ottawa goes by Spezza, Turris, Kuba. Philip Kuba? Okay, Colin Greeny. Montreal goes by Cornway, Danny Grant. Remember him before he was a star with the North Stars? Pun intended, I guess. Sean Belleville and Ralphie Buckstrom. The 22 Oilers, do they win in 5? Yes, they do. They take out the 91 Habs. I think I expected that. Mike Smith beats Redley Rasico. Montreal goes by Carbonneau, Lefebvre, and Skrulin. Edmonton goes by Draisaitl with a natural hat trick. Shore scores, and then Draisaitl his 4th of the night, 16th of the tournament. Wow, Draisaitl's been on freaking fire. How many games have they played? 8? They've played 12. So he scored 16 goals in 12 games. Second best in goals is 5. Wow, so the 22 Oilers are now in the quarterfinals. The 94 Leafs win in overtime, 3-2. Potvin beats Bunny Larocque. Montreal goes by Chartres and Houle. Toronto goes by Colin and Clark in regulation. In overtime, Mike Eastwood from Doug Gilmore and Johnny Colin. Could the Leafs get a team in the quarterfinals? 75 Habs beat the 23 Leafs 4-3 as Dryden beats Samsonov. Toronto goes by Nylander, Matthews, and Marner. Montreal goes by Murray Wilson, Bob Gainey, Mario Tremblay, Boo, and Steve Shutt. The 06 Flames are now up 3-2, 4-3. Kipper beats Walmsley. 06 team Weber, Faneuf, Lombardi, and Nagila. 91 team Ranheim, Fleury, and Otto. The 71 Habs winning overtime. They're up 3-2 as Meyer beats Hodge. Phil Meyer. The 71 team Beliveau, Tartif, and Beliveau in regulation. 65 team Ballin, Beliveau. So John Beliveau scores 4 goals combined with those 2 teams, but John Ferguson in overtime for the 71 squad from Cornway and Mahavlich. The 06 Senators now have a 3-2 lead. Hasek beats Mrazek. They rhyme. Toronto goes by Matthews, Bunting, and Eggville. Ottawa goes by Havlet, McGradden, Healy, and Volchenkov. Meanwhile, the 23 Oilers are now up 3-2, 4-3 over the Jets. Campbell beats Hellebuck. Winnipeg goes by Pionk, Dubois, and Cole Perfetti. Edmonton goes by Bukestad, Nick Bukestad, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, and Draisaitl, who only has 4 for the 23 squad. All right, so the 68 Habs, do they win? Yes, they do. They win in overtime, as expected, 5-4. Vachon beats Old. Ottawa goes by Kuba, Mahalik, Chris Phillips, and Jason Spezza in regulation. Montreal goes by Shields Tremblay, Serge Savard, Dick Duff, and Ted Harris. And in overtime, it was Harris' second of the night at 2:48 from LaRose and Provo. So the 68 Habs are in the quarterfinals. The 94 Leafs are in the quarterfinals. Overtime heroics against the 79 Habs. Actually, I didn't expect that. Spontan beats Bunny Larocque. Montreal goes in regulation. Mario Tremblay, Boo, Lafleur, and Jacques Lemaire. Toronto goes by Colin, Borshevsky, and Govendaris. Chris Govendaris, really. But in overtime, Rob Pearson wins the box, but shorthanded Eastwood from Clark and McCowan. So the 94 Leafs are in the quarterfinals. Groovy. The 35 Habs take out the 23 Leafs 6-3 as expected. Dryden beats Matt Murray. 23 squad, Matthews is 9th. Nylander is 8th and 9th. Montreal goes by Lambert, Robinson, Kitchener, Andre Richard. Oh, yeah, I forgot he played for that. Guy Lafleur, Bob Gainey, and then Jacques Lemaire again. 06 Flames, win in 6, 4-3. I expected that. Kipper beats Vernon. 06 squad, Lundmark, Huselius, Lundmark again, and Chris Simon. 91 team, Makarov, Ranheim, and Newendijk. The 71 Habs. We got a game 7, 71 versus 65. 65 team wins 4-3. Worsley beats Vachon. The 71 team, Rochefort, Pete Mahovlich, and Tarkif. The 65 team, Ballin, Cornwallier, Jimmy Roberts, and Claude Provo. So, yeah, it's been back and forth in that series. The 22 Leafs have won 6-2 as Mrazek beats Emery. That goes to game 7. Toronto goals by Marner, Nylander, Kerfoot, Matthews, Nylander, and then Nylander to complete a hat trick. Ottawa goals by Heatley and Alfredson. The 23 Oilers, they lose in overtime to Winnipeg. That's a game 7. Rittich beats Campbell. Winnipeg goes by Harkins in regulation, Connor and Josh Morrissey. Edmonton goes by Warren Fogle, Ryan McLeod, and Yamamoto-san. Winnipeg goes at 4-9 from Harkins from Connor and Schmidt. So 5 teams in the quarterfinals, 3 more. '23 Jets and '23 Oilers. Game 7, I'm going to say Edmonton. I may be right. No, I wouldn't. Winnipeg wins 7-6, so the only Winnipeg team in the competition in the round of 32 is now in the quarterfinals. How? Hellebuck beats Campbell. Winnipeg goes in regulation by Scheifele, Stenrud, Scheifele again, Connor, Morrissey, and Wheeler. Oh, I thought that was overtime. Sorry. So yes, 23 Edmonton goals by McLeod, Draisaitl, Ryan, Draisaitl, Fogle, and Nugent Hopkins. '22 Toronto, '06 Ottawa. I say Toronto. Just say because Ottawa sucks. The answer is yeah. No, Ottawa wins 4-1. Emery beats Campbell. Typical Leafs. Matthews is 5th, but Fisher, Chara, Smolinski, and Fermet for the '06 Senators. Take out one of my Leaf teams. Grr. And 65-71, I say 71. And I'm wrong. The 65 team, Hodge beats Vachon. Belleville scored for the 71 team, but Harris, LaRose, and Provo for the 65 team. So we're down to 8 teams. What's my time here? 18 minutes. Okay, we'll do the quarterfinals in one fell swoop. So the quarterfinals, well, actually look at the summary. Draisaitl, 16 goals for the 22 Oilers. McDavid, 15 for the 23 Oilers. Do the goal scoring race, the points race, Draisaitl, McDavid, and Kyle Connor. Rogie Vachon, the best goalie, 5-1 with a 204 goals against. Ranford, 3-4. His team got eliminated, yet he's second in goals against. Yeah, hell looks fun. So anyway, as you look, Montreal has 3 teams left out of 8. Ottawa, Toronto, Edmonton, Calgary, Winnipeg all have 1 team left. So there's still 6 Canadian cities left out of 8. Well, Quebec only had 1 team and they lost. So we have the Battle of Montreal, 68 versus 75. '06 Sens against the '94 Leafs. 22 Oilers against the '65 Habs. And the '06 Flames against the '23 Jets. So let's see who wins the quarterfinals. First up, the '06 Senators beat the '94 Leafs in overtime, 2-1. Grr. Potvin loses to Hasek. Ottawa scored first. Eves from Spezza and Heatley. Mike Gardner finally on the board from Gilmore and Mironov. But in overtime, Eves on the power play thanks to Gilmore's hooking call from Schaefer and Phillips. First game there, it's 75 Habs win 2-1 as Dryden beats Vachon. Lapointe and Lemaire are scoring. The 68 team, Belleville has 7th. Winnipeg beats Calgary 5-1. Rittich beats Boucher. Calgary goal by Rhett Warner, but Morrissey, Scheifele, Ehlers, Morrissey, and Lowry for the Jets. 65 Habs in overtime, 4-3. Hodge beats Mike Smith. Montreal regulation goes by Andre Richard, Cole Provo, and Ralph Backstrom. Edmonton goes by Evander Kane, Warren Fogle, and Connor McDavid. Overtime goal is 17:59 by Andre Richard for LaPerriere and Tremblay. The Battle of Montreal. The 75 team is up 2-0. Dryden beats Vachon. 75 team Shutt, Lapointe, Lapointe, Lambert, Robinson, Kitchener, and Mario Tremblay. Not a lot of yelling Kitchener. 68 team Ferguson, Tremblay, and Backstrom. Calgary beats Winnipeg. It's 1-1 as Boucher beats Hellebuck. Winnipeg goes by Wheeler and DeMello. Blake Wheeler. Calgary goes by Regier, Kobosu, Hoselius, Amante, and Lankow. 22 others win 4-2 as Koskinen meets Hodge. Edmonton goes by Fogo, PRV, Yamamoto-san, and Connor. Montreal goes by Provo and Ferguson. And Toronto wins over Ottawa 4-3. Potvin beats Mike Morrison. Toronto goes by Clark, Andrechuk, and Clark. Nearly blew the 3-0 lead. Schaefer, Redden, and Heatley tie up, but Andrechuk for Ralph. '75 Habs, the only team up 2-0 in their series. They lose 4-1. Vachon beats Dryden. '75 team Lafleur 6. Russo, Tremblay, Provo. Calgary, Winnipeg. Game 3 saw Winnipeg win 3-2 as Hellebuck beats Skipper. Winnipeg goes by Scheifele, Connor, and Ehlers. Calgary goes by Donovan and Kobasu. Edmonton and Montreal. The 65 Habs win 2-1 as Hodge beats Koskinen. Connor McDavid scored his 8th for the 22 squad, but then Belleville scored twice to make it 2-1. Ottawa beat Toronto 6-3 as Mike Morrison beats Davey Rhodes. Toronto goes by Anderchuk, Clark, and Cecil. Ottawa goes by Smolinski, Flagla, Ferrado. Okay, Alfredson, Redden, Spezza, and Alfredson again. 65 Habs will win game 4. They're now up 3-1 in the series. Worsley beats Koskinen. Bouchard scored for Edmonton. Andre Richard for Montreal. But in overtime, it was Ralph Backstrom from Belleville. Game 4 sees Ottawa win 3-2 in overtime. Hasek beats Potvin. 94 Leafs are in trouble. Ottawa, Bolshinsky, and Chris Kelly scoring. The Toronto goes by Anderchuk, 2 of them. Chris Neal at 5:47 from Kelly and Basaros. The 68 Habs have tied the series 2-2. Worsley beats Dryden. 75 Habs, Lafleur, and Roberts. 68 team Harper, Belleville, and Provo. At 5:38, corner away from Tremblay. Winnipeg is now up 3-1 in their series, 4-3 as Hellebuck beat Kiprusoff. Winnipeg goes by Scheifele, Nito Niederreiter. He played for the Jets. Wheeler, Blake Wheeler, and Adam Lowry. Calgary goes by Dion Phaneuf, Drew McGilla, and Drew McGilla again. 65 Habs. Oh wait, we have 3 teams. Well, 2-2. The only 2-2 series, the 68 Habs win game 5 at home. Vachon beats Dryden. The 75 team goes by Savard Cornway and Larry Robinson, Kitchener. 68 Habs, Tremblay, Duff, Richard, Under Richard, Provo, and Gilles Tremblay. Man, Gilles Tremblay must have been great. 8 goals. Did Ottawa take down Toronto? Yes, they did. 5-2. Damn it. Hasek beats Potvin. I would have loved to stick it to Ottawa. Toronto goes by Anderchuk and Borshevsky. Ottawa goes by Potier, Smolinski, Chara, Redden, and McGradden. So the 06 Habs are in the semifinals. The 23 Jets are in the semifinals, win 4-2 as British takes down Kipper. Calgary goes by Aguila and Huselius, but Winnipeg goes by Morgan Barron, 2 from Shifley, and then Pionk. Pionk. So Winnipeg's got a team in the semi. Ottawa, Montreal, Edmonton would make it 4 different Canadian cities, but I doubt they're going to come back to win. Well, maybe I'm wrong. 3-2, Edmonton wins. Smith beats Worsley. Montreal goes by Belleville and LaRose. Chris Russell, Draisaitl, and McDavid putting up goals for the 22 squad. And the 65 Habs went on home turf 4-1. Koskinen loses to Hodge. McDavid is 10th. Tremblay, Belleville, Provo, and Henri Richard. The 68 Habs. Well, we got a game 7 against the 75 team. So the Battle of Montreal will have a game 7. The 75 squad, goals by Lambert, Pete Mahovlich, Murray Wilson, and Guy Lafleur in regulation. The 68 team, Henri Richard, Ralph Backstrom, Henri Richard, and John Ferguson. Lafleur at 1628 from Peter Mahovlich for the 75 squad. Who's the second Montreal squad? It will be, let's say, the 68 squad. And I would be incorrect. The 75 squad in overtime. 68 squad, Duff, Ferguson, and Ferguson again. 75 squad, Lafleur, Lemaire, and Shutt. And in overtime, Mahovlich from Lapointe and Jimmy Roberts. So Petey Mahovlich does his job. Roberts, how did he end up on Montreal at 75? I thought he went to St. Louis. So we have 2 Montreal teams, an Ottawa team, and a Winnipeg team left in the semifinals. We'll take a look at the Final Four and where they stand and all that next video. Anyway, I'm Jeff Devin.